Hello and welcome to Walk the Talk. I am Shekhar Gupta in the heart of what used to be Midland, Bombay in Lower Parel. And my guest this week, a most unusual Indian businessman, Ajay Piramal. Welcome to Walk the Talk. I said most unusual because a rare businessman who is a genuine entrepreneur in the sense that you start something, you have no issues about getting rid of it and moving on to something else new and doing it even more successfully.
Thank you.
I can count the list of things you've done, or you can count for me.
So as where we are standing here today,
In the shadow of your chimney, how old is that, your textile mill?
so our textile mill actually started in 1871,
1871.
and till recently when it was working, it was the oldest established textile
Textile
mill in the country. And
So this chimney should be a heritage structure.
it is, and that's why though you see all these modern buildings, we decided to just
to keep
maintain it. So it in some ways it reminds us of also our past and also a little bit of the new. So
Right.
it's a combination of both.
So textiles
So we began in textiles
To
and
pharma.
to pharma,
but sort of branded.
branded
Prescription
generics.
pharma also,
Yes, and then from pharma
Nicholas.
we moved into Nicholas. We acquired Nicholas in 1988. We moved from pharma into branded.
Nicholas had the
generics.
responsibility for dealing with the entire country's headaches.
That's right, with Aspro.
With Aspro, yes.
And even now we deal with headaches through Saradon actually.
Right.
So
Sirfake, Saridon, or Sardar Searam.
Absolutely. Actually, it's surprising, but that tune is going on
Yes,
for
yes.
more than 50 years.
Absolutely. And Saridon very much has become a sort of a brand name for a pain reliever as much as, say, Dalda or Coke is for
Yes.
a frying medium or
Yes.
soft drink.
And after that, we sold our branded domestic business in 2010.
And don't forget, one branch of the family also got into luggage, VIP.
Yes, we went into luggage, and that branch we separated out in 1982 actually. And then we now gone into real estate. We are into pharmaceuticals, both India and abroad. We are in financial services, as well as in actually big data and information management.
But more importantly, Ajay, why are we having this conversation? There will be many businessmen who can put some of this stuff on their CVs. Because you were, with great rapidity, getting rid of your assets and relaunching yourself as a Warren Buffett of a kind. So where does this energy come from to cash out of your businesses and invest in other people's businesses, incubate, help?
So actually, the way I look at myself is really a trustee for all our stakeholders, whether it's our shareholders, whether it's our customers, our employees. And I believe that as a trustee, my really role is to see that we maximize the benefit to our shareholders is one of the primary things. And therefore, when we realized that textiles was going through a difficult time, and it was time to exit. So without much emotion, and I think dispassionately,
Right.
one went into pharmaceuticals.
And similarly, pharmaceuticals is sold to Abbott. You took the value to what, $3.7 billion?
Yeah, so again, and I felt that to get 18,000 crores was a lot of value for a business which was only worth 6 crores when we acquired it in 88.
Yeah.
And I felt that it's doing justice to shareholders. I believe the same now in terms of drug discovery, that hopefully that in the future we create huge value for shareholders, or for that matter in financial services where we recently invested.
But between drug discovery came a really brilliant investment in Vodafone.
Yes, yeah, that was a good investment.
Because that resulted in another more than $2 billion.
Yeah, that was about a $1.5 billion return. I mean,
Right.
we got a good return on that.
So what do you do with all this money? I see one business magazine headline saying how you collected 20,000 crores and you're still in debt.
So what we do with this business is really look at new emerging opportunities. So one opportunity which we've invested in the US is really the cutting edge in technology, which is on big data. How do you convert big data or data into insight? So that's one area. We've invested in the financial services space. And in financial services, the only way you can make money is if you have debt. That's where you
Right.
get good return. That's why
Right.
we have the debt. And we've invested, I think, in healthcare as well. So we will see. We have today a new business in Germany which is doing early diagnosis of Alzheimer's.
And I believe you have one of the first genuine discoveries by an Indian pharma company.
We are spending almost $100 million in only research every year, which there are very few companies in India doing it. And
So tell us about this particular molecule that you've discovered in Germany and about other cutting edge pharmaceutical research.
So in Germany, we have this product which will really do early diagnosis of Alzheimer's. As you know, it's the fastest growing, one of the fastest growing problems in this world. And as we are aging,
as we live longer.
Yes, as you're living longer, almost they say 1 in 3 people.
Frankly, I mean, I don't mean it in a sort of in a medical sense, but it's a side effect of statins, because statins make us live longer, and something has to get us.
You've actually raised a very important point. Modern medicine has elongated life.
Right.
But in the last few years, the quality of life is actually not very good. And so therefore you need drugs to cure Alzheimer's and so on.
So what does this drug do and how does it work?
So this is really giving you
and then we'll give the credit where it's due, but tell us first.
It's really giving early diagnosis of Alzheimer's to tell you that you're likely to get Alzheimer's. You'll be surprised, but almost 30% of the diagnosis is wrong for Alzheimer's. So many people just don't treat the disease, or even therefore this will tell you how to, what to do once you have Alzheimer's.
And how does it predict Alzheimer's?
So it goes through the PET CT. It's a tracer which is injected into your system, and then you see whether it'll form certain these things on the brain, and that will highlight whether you have Alzheimer's or not. But besides this, we are also doing work on diabetes.
So it's an imaging compound.
Yes, it's a tracer.
Tracer.
Yeah.
And what's it called?
It's called Neurasic. And we are now going to the next tracers, which will actually do correct diagnosis for prostate and for other cardiovascular things.
Because that's very important, because there's a global controversy now on prostate.
Absolutely.
And what to do, what not to do.
And how the diagnosis is very often incorrect.
Incorrect, and leads to aggressive surgeries, PSA as it called.
Yes, that is not a reliable
prostate
test.
Prostate-specific antigen, yes. In fact, it's led to more over-treatment than saving of lives.
Yeah. Similarly,
so let's first talk about the Alzheimer's thing. So how you worked with Bayer on this? Or?
So we acquired a business from Bayer. Bayer was doing some research, but they had left it half done. And that's when we acquired it, and we are doing it on our own now. Actually, we are independent.
But why in Germany? Why not in India?
Because this is so high technology. All the scientists were there. Bayer was working in Germany on it. The people were there, and that's what we just inherited the people. And in this space, it's really the quality of people that makes a difference. It's not, and we don't have that expertise yet in India. But again, coming to India, we do research. We have about 400 people working here on doing basic drug discovery. Doing research in diabetes, in doing research in cancer. These are some of the biggest issues that are affecting.
So what kind of diabetic routes you're moving on, anti-diabetic routes you're moving on?
So we are in a totally new area, a DGAT area. That's where not much work has been done. We hope that...
What is DGAT?
So it's really, it's one of those...
only people like me who are Google doctors.
Yeah, and I'm also one of them, let me say that. So we are trying to get to areas which are, diabetes till now there's no cure. So we're trying to see that. And the side effects in diabetes can be a lot. So how do you ensure that this is a safe, reliable cure? Actually, you'll be surprised, but even till now, it's the metformins of the world which is the most reliable.
Which is almost a 45-year-old drug.
Yes, so we are hoping that we can get some...
So what is the route of this drug? Does it work through the gut, through the liver?
So, that's a real technical question. Let's leave it for another day.
But let's try and simplify it.
Yeah, but let's see. It's still in clinical trials, and it's still...
But is this a revolutionary new approach? Breakthrough is something we should use very carefully with pharma.
It is a new approach. It's still in clinical trials. It needs to get approved. There is nobody else who's
injectable, oral.
No, oral.
Oral. Insulin
No.
substitute.
I don't know yet.
We don't
Let's
know
wait.
yet.
Let's wait.
But it's a new stream.
It is a new stream.
It's not an improvement on over an existing stream.
No.
So how much money are you allocating to researching new molecules? Because we'll then come to another issue.
So new molecules, along with this molecular imaging that we are doing, we're almost spending about 450, 500 crores every year in just new discovery. It varies. In drug discovery, we have to realize that really the cost of drugs, it's the 2/3 of the cost of any new drug is during the clinical trial stage, and 1/3 is in the first part. So let's see, and it keeps mounting. So as your products go into the clinic, your spend goes up.
Let's talk about Indian pharma. Indian pharma is a success story. But it has some issues. One, it's a success story mainly in generics.
Yeah.
So you make cheap copies. I use the word copy non-judgmentally, right? What your company has done, Ranbaxy has done, Cipla has done, and it's also globally celebrated. In fact, globally the intellectual left believes that Indian generic pharma has saved mankind, at least has saved Africa from HIV.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Indian pharma has not used this strength to produce anything new, to discover anything new. We have almost no discovery so far. And third, the pharma story seems to be running out because everybody is now selling out and moving money to something else.
So
Because unlike you, others are not even investing in research.
I do. So let me say that I think Indian pharma has been a success story. It's really because generics have really brought down the cost of drugs.
Yes.
As you said correctly, in Africa, if it was not for Indian generics, AIDS would have been rampant all over.
India has the cheapest medicine still.
Yes, and that's because really the chemistry skills were so high, and the way regulations were made in India, they were actually encouraging generics. That's one of the reasons why we've not gone into new drugs. Even in new drugs discovery, it's a very difficult thing. All over the world, you find that really it's mainly the US which is now doing drugs. So we are hoping, we are trying to go against the tide. I hope that we can make it somewhere.
But can you do something with drugs in the sense of take research to a certain level and then maybe sell to a Pfizer or a Merck?
So what you would have to do, let's say in our diabetic program, I don't think we can take the drug right from discovery to the clinic.
Yes.
Or to the final customer. We will take it up to a
the
stage,
pharmacist.
Yeah, and we will work with global pharma to work together. In certain products, you can actually take it right to the end. In a cancer product, because the trials are not so much.
Right.
But in a anti-diabetic, you may need large number of trials.
Right.
You need a lot of sophistication. So that's how it would happen.
And frankly, drugs like those for chronic diseases, the real trial is after prescription.
So
You see, so many diabetic drugs have fallen out after 5 years, 7 years.
it takes time.
Glitazones,
Yes.
for example,
Absolutely.
they were the wonder drug for many years,
Yeah.
and now nobody wants to touch
Yeah.
them.
In fact, they've been stopped. Yeah.
They've been stopped in most places. So, what has Indian pharma done right, and what have they done wrong? Because you've been on both sides. You've been Indian pharma,
So Indian pharma has
and
done.
now you're post-Indian pharma.
Indian pharma has done right in the sense that we've been able to produce really high quality generic drugs at the least cost, up to international standards. At one time, we had the largest number of US FDA approved plants in the country. I don't know the latest number, we may still be there. So we've been able to do that. We've been able to produce the raw materials and the intermediates at the least cost. I think that's a big contribution that Indian pharma has done. We are still not there in terms of research, and there is no drug discovered out
By
of
an Indian.
India.